Well, thank you, Madam Chair, and let's just start off and let's just call the bill what it is. It's another attempt by Democrats to socialize our financial system. Once again, the guise of consumer support, Democrats are trying to implement their long-held partisan priorities. That's what we've seen a lot of this Congress. Democrats are trying to sell H.R. 2547 to the American people as a necessary action to help families and small businesses hardest hit by the economic impacts of COVID-19. It's not. The truth is, this bill is just a redo of several partisan bills that we had from last Congress, pre-COVID. If there was any question as to whether or not Democrats viewed the pandemic as a, quote, tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit their vision, end quote, this bill proves it. This bill is more about catering to progressive lobbyists and stakeholders who have long sought to tear down the pillars of our credit markets and financial system. First, it's clear progressives want to eliminate a fundamental part of our free market system, the belief that you should be paid for services provided in a timely manner. The fact is, limiting the ability of businesses and individuals to be repaid for their services already provided will not benefit anyone. This is especially true for small businesses who have been hardest hit, frankly, from the pandemic shutdowns. If enacted, this bill will also drive up the cost of credit for all borrowers, especially low-income borrowers, as well as limit their credit options. There are common-sense ways to update and improve the process for collecting payments and to modernize the credit reporting regime. This includes identifying ways to protect consumers and encourage them and their service providers or lenders to work out repayment plans. In fact, just last month, the entire House voted to support the gentlewoman from Pennsylvania, Representative Dean's bill, to ensure that members of our military are not threatened with service-related consequences as they work to repay debts owed. That makes sense. It's a bipartisan bill, a great result. But the further you dig into this bill, the more problematic it gets. For example, this bill will actually make health care in this country more expensive and will limit the medical services provided to those who need it most. I don't think that's the intention, but that's in fact the impact. Make it more difficult for medical providers to seek payment for their services does not make them free, does not make the system less expensive. And excluding medical debt from an individual's credit report is not a way to support consumers or our healthcare providers who have been, frankly, the front lines of the COVID pandemic. I have a bill that allows medical debt that results from non-elective services to be protected and ensure that if it's repaid, it's eliminated from a consumer credit report's adverse actions. I think that bill makes sense, right? We should, if people repay their medical debt, I think that we should acknowledge that on credit reports. But if it's elective surgery or if it's perhaps something medically of their own choosing, I think they should have to pay for that. And if they don't pay for those services, it should be on their credit report. I think these things make sense. And I think there are ways that we can ensure we have accurate reporting. Accurate reporting and full repayment allows the credit markets to work smoothly and to accurately account for risk. This, in turn, allows the financial system to continue to provide low-cost credit to those who need it most. Democrats also want to undermine the CFPB's work to finalize its debt collection rule last fall. This rule was the result of more than 7 years of research, analysis, data collection, and it clarifies the allowable uses of modern communication technology. I think it's a proper update to these long-held consumer protection laws that we have on the books. This bill eliminates this positive step forward. This bill prohibits debt collectors from using 21st century methods of communication to reach consumers. That's insane. That's bad. That goes all against the whole movement post-COVID or in the midst of COVID, that we digitize our communication tools and enable people to do things more cheaply via technology. And so this bill includes stopping consumers from being contacted via email or text message without explicit prior consent. Consumers should be able to communicate about their payment options privately in the way they prefer. This bill eliminates that choice. Restricting options like that make it more difficult to contact consumers. It doesn't help anyone. Perhaps the consumer doesn't know that they missed the payment, and this bill would say you can't text them to let them know they missed their payment. That's absurd. I don't think that's the bill author's intent. I don't think it's, but that is the impact in the real market. So just to reiterate, limiting the ability of individuals and businesses to seek repayment for services provided will undermine the ability to underwrite and thereby increase the risk to the financial system. If you can't price for risk, you're going to have more risk. If we have more risk that is not appropriately priced, we will get bad outcomes in the financial system. This ultimately makes extending credit more expensive for all borrowers and may push the lowest income borrowers out of the system entirely. That's a bad result. That's not what we want. Either side of the aisle, we don't want that. This bill has that harmful impact. We all agree consumers who owe a debt should be treated with respect and dignity and not be subject to abusive or harassing behavior. The law already upholds this. This bill is a big government, anti-consumer, anti-small business solution in search of a problem. I urge my colleagues to oppose this bill and the harmful impacts herein. Yield back.